So I hope you're all sitting in a comfortable space this morning and relaxed. Now I'd like to introduce Erin Maines from Foodie Pages, who will talk a little bit more about the gratitude box, all in conjunction with Coach Carey's meditation classes. Now take it away, Erin. Thank you.
Thanks, Chantal. Thank you, Toronto Life Insiders. I'm Erin Maines. I'm the owner and founder of Foodie Pages, and we create gift boxes that support Canadian small business. And last week we launched a limited edition gift box that showcases 10 incredible women-owned Toronto businesses with products that are designed to restore inner balance and adapt to stress, which is so relevant right now. And one of the incredible women featured in the box is Coach Carey, who is with us today, our guest today. And, as Chantal said, I think it's so relevant to be practicing gratitude and talking about that, not only with others, but with ourselves. And so with that, I want to hand it over to Coach, and she's going to take us through a mindfulness exercise and introduce us to some of her breathing techniques.
Absolutely. Thanks, Erin, and thanks for all your work and support on this. It means a lot to know that there are other people wanting to support women-owned businesses, small business, and just kind of putting out that love and that extra support that I think we all need right now. So I wanted to get thanks everyone for being here. We kind of like Erin said, that we just really wanted to put this together as a way for us to all give ourselves a little bit of extra love during a difficult time as we move in transition into winter. It's getting dark at 4 or 5 p.m. and it can be difficult for anyone to stay motivated during this time. And I've used meditation as a way to help me move through emotions, get motivated, stay focused, and it has so many great benefits. So we wanted to share this with you and do a meditation together. I want to preface this by saying there's no right or wrong way to meditate. So for you, it might just be connecting to your breath. You might be able to move through everything that I'm saying that as I'm guiding you, but ultimately the best thing to do is to just take a moment and we're going to connect with our breath. So let's get started. And I encourage everyone to just take a couple of deep breaths in whatever way works best for you. Just as a way for us to transition from where we just were to where we are now, so that we can be present right here, right now, in the present moment. Now, if possible, see if you can have a nice big inhale with an even bigger exhale, as it's the exhale that sends the signal to the brain that you are okay, which naturally calms down the nervous system. And for anyone who's new to meditation or managing your breath, I always love to give a couple of tips and tools on how anyone can do so. So tip number 1 is counting 1, 2, 3 inside your head on your inhale, and then 3, 2, 1 down backwards on your exhale. And that can allow you to focus on the numbers rather than any potential distracting thoughts. And for anyone who prefers physical cues like myself, you can raise your hand slowly up on your inhale. And slowly down on your exhale. Now, with that being said, let's all take 3 deep breaths in whatever way, tip, or tool works best for you. And now, if this resonates for you, you can put your hand over your heart. And together we're going to say some affirmations. This is a great way to honor yourself, as well as to send the signal to your nervous system, even more so, that right now in this moment, I am safe. And so I'm going to ask you to repeat after me out loud or inside your head. And I will say each affirmation 3 times. And after the 3rd time, I will say my name and you will say yours. Big deep breath in before we commence. I love you, I love you, I love you, Raia. I honor you, I honor you, I honor you, Raia. I respect you, I respect you, I respect you, Raia. You are more than enough. You are more than enough. You are more than enough, Raia. And just give yourself a moment and allow those affirmations to absorb into your subconscious. That's why we say them 3 times, because the power of repetition, the more we say them, the more we feel them, the more we believe them. So take a moment and just think about how it felt to speak to yourself in that way, to say those affirmations to yourself, while maintaining your breath as best you can in whatever way works best for you. Let's think a little bit more about which affirmations felt easier to say, and which affirmation felt a little bit more difficult. And whichever affirmation felt a little bit more difficult, I encourage you now to say them 3 times again inside your head or out loud, as a way to reconfirm it and absorb it into your subconscious. And if you're just joining us, good morning. We're just taking a couple of deep breaths, and we said some affirmations to ourselves so you didn't miss anything too much. And so whichever affirmation felt a little bit more difficult, I encourage you to say them again 3 times, followed by your name, out loud or inside your head. And I want to remind everybody that there's no right or wrong way to meditate. The idea is taking some time for yourself. And so if you are unable to follow along with what I'm saying, that's okay. If just connecting your breath, if just giving yourself 5 minutes to be still is all that's available to you today, that's okay. I'm encouraging everybody to honor their journey with meditation or mindfulness with where you are at currently, rather than where it is that you want to be. And let's take 2 deep breaths together. And I want everyone to think about any feelings or emotions that have been stagnant or showing up as we transition into the darker, colder months. Anything that has made you feel less than, whether it was feeling angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, sadness, loneliness. Just take a moment and think about what's been showing up for you. And let's take a moment to reflect on that. I'm a firm believer that when we shine a light on our own darkness, we create more light. And so sometimes we just have to be our own nightlight. And so know that in this space, you are loved, you are supported. So taking a moment to think about the things that we don't necessarily always want to think about is safe here. Any feelings and emotions that have been coming up for you so that we can move through them and release them to set ourselves up for a good day, a good week, a good month, a good season. And let's take that one step further and think about what these feelings and emotions may be trying to teach us. There's often an underlining lesson underneath it all. So take a moment now and think about what lessons or learnings or teachings, what these feelings might be trying to teach you, while maintaining your breath as best you can. And again, the idea is to try to have a nice big inhale with an even bigger exhale if possible, because that's what sends the signal to the brain that you are okay. It calms down our nervous system. And if that is all that is available to you this morning, that's okay. Let's take that one step further and think about what is within our control. Are these feelings yours? Are these feelings necessary? We are in control about how we perceive things, how we react to things, and how we interpret things. And the number one thing that we can do during this time is focus on the things that are within our control. So when you're thinking about these feelings and emotions that have been coming up for you, take a moment now and think about what is within your control. And let's take 2 big deep breaths together. Breath number 1. Exhale. Breath number 2. Inhale. Exhale. And just sit with that for a moment longer. Allowing yourself to just be. And if your mind starts to wander or thoughts come in, that's okay. The quickest way to remove those thoughts is to connect right back to your breath. Because when we focus on our breath, it literally can automatically clear those thoughts because we're focused on the breath. So allow that to sink in, as right now your mind might be thinking about all the other areas in your life that are within your control, not just in regards to emotions, and that's okay. And let's take that one step forward to be action-oriented and focused on what it is that we can do differently. So I'm asking everyone now to take a moment and think about what is one thing that you can do differently now that you've had some time to think about what's in your control, the lessons from these potential feelings and emotions. So what is one thing that you can do differently moving forward? Perhaps starting today, starting tomorrow, starting this weekend. Because never underestimate the power of one shift. Because small, action-oriented steps in the right direction can equal big and impactful change. So what is one small thing that you can do differently now that you've had some time to reflect on those feelings and emotions that have been coming up for you? While maintaining your breath as best you can. And now that you have the one thing that you can do differently, and it's okay if you don't yet, I encourage you to take more time to think about it too if it hasn't come readily available to you. I want you to create a verbal agreement with yourself, out loud or inside your head, as a way to hold yourself accountable. The one thing that I have learned as a life coach through my own inner work and help working with clients is that no one else is responsible for our own self-work. It is up to each and every one of us. And there are some things that we absolutely have to hold ourselves accountable for. And I encourage you, while you're making this verbal agreement with yourself and thinking about it, to use action-oriented positive words such as, I will, I'm going to, I'm excited to, I can't wait to. These words send the signal to the brain that I know I can do this. And staying away from words like need, should, have, these words send a signal to the brain that I don't think I can do this. So the more we can use this language, the more we empower ourselves. If our thoughts create our actions, well, our thoughts are created by language. So encouraging everyone to also just be mindful of the language you are using when you talk to yourself and about yourself. Take 2 deep breaths. And before we close out our practice today together, the last thing I'm asking everyone to do is to think of an I am affirmation or mantra that resonates specifically with you. And it could be, I am love, I am evolving, I am learning, I am growing, I am confident, I am whole. Whatever resonates for you, I want you to think about that. You can put your hand over your heart again. And just think about that and say it out loud or inside your head. I think for me, my affirmation for today is I am love. Because the more I love myself, the more love I get to put back out into the world. And that is a high value for me. To close out our practice, let's take 3 big deep breaths together. Try to keep up with my pace. We're going to hold our breath at the top of our inhale. Breath number 1, inhale, release. Breath number 2, inhale, hold it, hold it, hold it, release. And breath number 3, last one, biggest breath yet. See if you can expand those lungs fully. Inhale, hold it, hold it, hold it, release. And let it all out. And take 2 final breaths at your own pace, allowing you to return to the here and now in this space together. And once we're done, I would love for everyone to share their affirmations in the group chat. Namaste. The light in me sees and honors and loves the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much, everybody. Take your time coming back. You can leave your camera off or turn it on, and we'll be opening up the floor for questions. Take your time. And if you feel called to stretch, it's always a nice way to end off as well. Oh, Heather has shared with us that her affirmation is, I am brave. Yes. I love that. You're very welcome, Heather. Thanks for joining. You're very welcome, Sally. Thank you for joining. Adam is, I am worthy. Darn right you are. Eva is saying, I am awesome. Absolutely. This is the best. This is why I love what I do. My pleasure. Thank you, everybody. So if there's no questions, you're free to head out if you have your day to get to. Big thanks to Toronto Life team, to Aaron, to everybody. And at the top of the chat, you will receive 15% off the gratitude box. That is something that interests you. I host live meditations every Friday morning on my Instagram, which I'll put in the chat for you all. And I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope you feel relaxed and a little bit more space has been created up here. Thanks, everybody. Sending you all lots of love.